Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the Mentors Musings podcast. My name is Sarah Hawley, and I am joined today by Abraham Snell. Abraham and we were paired up together through the Red Hat Mentoring Program in 2023, and we are just going to be continuing to share the insights and takeaways from that mentoring relationship with you all. Just to give a quick overview of what we'll talk about in this short and sweet episode. We'll talk about who we are, how this podcast came to be, and then why you all should continue to listen and tune in. So with that, I'll let Abraham introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abraham Snell. I am an associate principal solution architect at Red Hat. And yes, that's a mouthful, but that just means that I help our customers pull our products and services together into a solution that helps. And I personally work in the public sector, so I work with the federal government. So those solutions actually help you as American citizens. I've been in the computer industry about 27 years. I've worked in multiple roles, including people leadership and engineering, and currently an architect. I've worked across multiple organizations, public and private sector, education, and nonprofit. I am interested in technology, of course, but I'm also interested in leadership and leadership development. I'm interested in purpose, why we do things, why we feel called to do things. And I'm also interested in history. I have degrees in history, computer engineering, and I have an MBA, and all of my degrees are from Auburn University. Born and raised in Alabama, raised in North Florida the early years of my life, and I currently reside in Birmingham, Alabama. So that's a little snapshot of me, Sarah.
Yes, thank you. Just before I jump into my own personal introduction, I just want to say that you talked a little bit about purpose, Abraham, and we talked a lot about that throughout our mentoring relationship. And I feel like I have a feeling that it'll come up during subsequent episodes of this podcast. So really looking forward to just diving deeper into that topic. But anyway, so yeah, a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where I currently reside. I'm a digital marketer at Red Hat, and I've been in this role for almost 3 years. I started at Red Hat as an intern, actually the day after that I graduated from UNC Chapel Hill. At UNC, I majored in advertising and public relations in the Hussman School, and I minored in entrepreneurship. So that was a really enriching experience when it came to, learning about how to meet folks where they are when it comes to business. So my senior year and early in my career, COVID was really dominating the global narrative. So I really had to get used to virtual work, remote work, and navigating the challenges and the advantages that come with, being in a distributed work setting. So currently I'm navigating my early career in a largely virtual role with certain opportunities on occasion to connect in person. I've met a few of my colleagues in real life, which is always a treat to do. But, I'm just looking forward to just diving deeper into the podcast and how it came to be. So, Abraham, do you want to chat a little bit about that?
Yeah, I will jump in here. And first of all, Sarah brought up the fact that we actually met and participated in a mentorship program that was put on by the company we both work for, Red Hat. Through that program, there are some structured things, but for the most part, you get to kind of create the mentoring relationship that is beneficial for the mentee as well as the mentor. And through that relationship, we shared a lot of wonderful things about career growth, which we'll get into some of those in the podcast. But we didn't limit it to that. We actually went into life growth issues. And both of us, I know I learned a lot, and I was the mentor. But we also were able to, we also kind of thought about how this was so enriching, encouraging, uplifting for us. And so we said, why don't we try to do this in a podcast? And so here we are. I think getting better is something that all people want to do. Maybe I'm an optimist. I think most people desire to get better, but many times we don't know how to get started. in any number of areas. The journey to getting better throughout my career and in my life is almost never something that we do by ourselves. We need a guide, we need accountability, we need support, we need encouragement.
Yes, for sure. And we do work for an open source company. And so, as we were kind of thinking through how this podcast might be able to provide value in your life, we were thinking about the phrase bringing mentorship into the open. And that's really what we're striving to do. You know, we had a professionally and personally fulfilling mentoring relationship in 2023. And, you know, the goal is really to share all those insights with a broader audience. So, I hope that you do continue listening. And that kind of brings us to the last point, which is why you all should continue to listen and tune in.
Yeah.
So at its core, we're going to be providing a mixture of both career and life advice through our unique lenses. And one thing I think is worth noting here is that, you know, this mentor-mentee pairing is cross-generational and also cross-functional as well. So we'll be able to share a wide variety of insights and perspectives with you all. And, you know, really when it comes to growing, there's no finish line, and you can grow in all aspects of your life, whether that's your work, your recreation, or something else. So I would say this podcast is for people who are interested in continuous improvement. Is there anything that you don't think I covered, Abraham?
You did an amazing job. The one thing I would add is that tuning in on a regular basis gives you this ability to kind of measure your growth. It's kind of like when you were growing up and in the door frame, your mom or dad would do that pencil mark and you would kind of keep up with how you were growing. Continuously tuning in kind of helps you have those watermarks in your life. And then the other thing is just consistency. The key to any kind of growth, to any kind of change is consistency. Even when you don't feel like you're making progress, if you will consistently do those things, it will result in you moving towards your goal. So yeah, please keep tuning in.
Great. So in terms of where you all can tune in to continue listening to these episodes, we'll be hosting the podcast on both YouTube and Spotify. So whether you'd like to watch or listen, that's up to you. And we'll be sure to share updates as to whenever new episodes are coming out via LinkedIn. So be sure to tune in. And thank you all so much for listening today.
Thank you.